This is Calamus Marks the Spot. I'm Calamus, the middle-aged farming mom from the South.
And I'm Liv, a younger asthmatic girly from the city. And this is a mental health podcast from the South to the city where we talk about our trips, experiences, and religion. And it'll be full of triggers. Today, you're Calamus.
I have
What?
ruined a pre-K child's life.
Please
I was
tell.
eating lunch with my nephew, who is in pre-K, so they're 4 or 5 years old. And he has told me all about his girlfriend, and he's told me all about his best friend. So I go up to him at the table and I'm like, hey. And the little kid sitting next to him is like, hey, I'm Pete's best friend. And I was like, oh, are you Roman? It was not Roman.
Oh,
And he was like, and I was like, oh, what's your name? And he was like, Josh. And I was like, oh, what about you, Josh? My nephew was like, come on, we're going to sit over here. Come on, come on. And I was like, we can stay. He was like, come on, we're going to sit over here. I was like, oh.
wow, you really dropped the ball on that one. So uncool.
Josh doesn't even want to speak to me again. I finally got to meet Roman, and he was like, eh.
Oh my God. Wow, really?
I mean, it's talent when you can alienate even like 4 and 5 year olds.
Love.
Yeah.
So today we have one of my best friends, Nicole, on the podcast. Childhood friend. Welcome, Nicole.
Hi, thanks for having me. It's cold out here.
That's nice. She's in California. It's cold there, apparently.
It's beautiful.
So we have some questions to ask you.
Okay.
And first of all, how did you become a part of the cult?
The cult, it's such a like harsh word because like when I think of cult, I think of like people doing this like seance dance, sacrificing babies and like killing themselves. So it's like harsh, but like when you look up the definition, it's like there's so many things that could be considered a cult. Like we're also in a Taylor Swift cult, you know?
Yes.
But no, okay, I get the question. Born and raised.
Was it just your parents, or were they born into, or
I think it was one of those, like, my mom was a few years old, like very little when her parents came into it. And then same with my dad, either he was raised or it was like very, very young. So yeah, they were both always a part of it.
Next question. How long were you a part of it?
29 years. I think I was like almost 30. No, I actually celebrated my 30th birthday. So that is how I remember it was like almost 30 years.
Yes, that is a quite long time. Was there a particular teaching or event that made you know that it wasn't for you?
Probably like all of it. I since I was really little, like I can't say exactly like what age, but I know I was little enough to tell my cousin, and we were the same age. So I might have been like 7. And I remember being like, I'm not going to be a witness when I'm older. Maybe when I'm like 40 or something, but I'm not doing it. And he told his parents, and his parents like said, Nicole told my parents, Nicole said this. And I was like, no, I didn't. And I remember like knowing that like this isn't for me. Like this is something's wrong. Something's off. Like this is annoying. Like I got it at that very young age that I was just like, mm-mm, this is not for me.
That is so crazy. You're so young.
did you have like a dramatic exit, or did you just fade away?
It was probably dramatic for everyone else. I guess it was dramatic. It was chaotic for me because my story was like I was in it. I got married young. I was in a relationship when I was 16, and it was like get married as soon as possible, which I didn't really want to, but I felt like I needed to. And then it was like I left the religion with my divorce, which I was very connected to like my ex's family. So what was it dramatic? I just stopped going. I didn't get announced. Like I didn't, they wanted to talk to me, but I just was like, no, I'm not doing that. Like I don't owe you anything. So for me, it felt like I just was able to leave, but and they didn't like come find me, but it was probably more dramatic and traumatic for everyone else that feels like they lost me as far as like family. If
Mhm.
that answers the question. Trying not to get
Thoroughly.
too off track. Yeah,
No,
okay.
and feel free to get off track. That's kind of what it is about.
Okay.
Do your parents still not talk to you?
No, my mom talks to me. My dad passed away. So my dad
Oh,
left. I got a story. I got layers on top of layers on top of layers with my life story. But yeah, my mom still does is she's like active and practicing, and I know it's like, she encourages me and tries to like invite me, and she does what she can, and that's it. But she I have a son, and it's her only grandson, and so I think, I know she loves me. It's just her religion is her community, her sense of um purpose is what I see.
And your dad left when?
My dad left when they split up. So I was 14, and so yeah, he died in 2020 from COVID, and he wasn't going. So that was, I don't know, he was probably gone for like over in between 7 and 10 years, just not going.
did he like leave the cult because they were getting divorced?
I think like my dad was kind of the same way. Like he never enjoyed it. He just did it. And so yeah, once they stopped being together, it was like, oh, well, we don't have like this um I don't know, image to keep up. Like I don't have to do it anymore. So he just stopped going. And that was never for him either. Like you could tell he hated it. He would like fall asleep, be snoring. I would have to like hit him I would be like, God, stop snoring. And like, he'd be doing the sound booth and snoring. He would be like, just, every talk he had, he was just like not into it. You could just tell, like he just did it. So he liked the people. He was a people person. And that was it.
Did you ever talk about it with your dad when he left?
Talk about the religion. No, because our relationship was not good, and I was so mad at him for what he was choosing. Because he thought that I stopped talking to him because he wasn't part of the religion. And I really stopped because I felt like he was choosing his addictions over me. And we never had that conversation because I was not doing the work. I hadn't gone to therapy. I had no emotional intelligence, maybe not none, but I had like not enough emotional intelligence to like have a hard conversation. And before I ever could, he passed away. So we never got to talk about it. So he died thinking I didn't love him because he wasn't part of the religion anymore, is what I heard,
Mhm.
which was never true.
Yeah, that is hard.
Did he have addictions when he was in, or did he develop them after he got out?
No, he always did when he was in. He was just, that was
Did
his.
you think it was only your dad, or did you know that so did everyone else?
Yeah, I didn't know everyone else did. I would hear, it wasn't until you heard the stories, and now that I'm older, I would be able to pick up on it, right? I can read people a lot better. But when you're a kid, you just think, oh, they're a pioneer, they're an elder, they're this, they're perfect. And then all of a sudden they're announced, and you're like, it's just like
Pedophile.
dramatic.
Oh, wow.
Or yeah, or you're sleeping with his or her husband, wife, whatever. Like everyone's
Mhm.
swapping. It's
Yeah.
true. It happened
No,
all the time. And
Yeah.
we talked about it. Like it was crazy. It happened. So
it happens. Yeah, continuously.
yeah.
Do you have a backroom story like that you got in trouble and taken to the back room?
Yeah. I think it was when those pictures, I think I heard a different podcast when remember when you had the BlackBerry, and I was like, don't let them find the photos. There were like some type of something, and which is creepy to me to this day. I don't know. So like I was a teenager, not drinking. We took like risque photos, right? Like I probably sent them to my boyfriend at the time,
Yeah.
and someone found them. Still don't know if it was your dad or your mom or whoever, and sent them or told them about it. And so, like, to the point, they were like, "Are you a virgin?" Asked me my sexual orientation, like, they were like, they asked me flat out, like, "Are you a lesbian?" Like, I just remember being like, "What?" And that experience was like, I'm never gonna go back in that room. Like, nobody needs to know. Like, my mom was sitting right there, but she was just silent. And they were just like grilling me. And then I got announced, and they were just so rude. Like, there was just no love, and it was just so much like I just felt really judged and like despicable. Like, they're just like, "Ugh, yeah, and she's doing that," and like kind of mocking me. And it was just like it was just a really bad experience. But I already knew that I didn't care for it. So it was just like, okay, announce me. I'm not an unbaptized publisher. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that was like the last time. Well, I mean, I went in like even when I was married to like talk about issues we were having, and they were kind of just like, I think they liked my ex so much that it was just like a pat on the back, like, "All right, buddy, we'll try harder and we'll talk to you never." And nothing was ever addressed. And I wouldn't say they did anything wrong. It was just I never tried to get in the back room. Like, so many people I know like were like, "Oh, we need to go tell the elders. We need to go." I'm just like, the least amount of times I can go back there, the better. But yeah, the one childhood memory was the most traumatic.
Did your mom ever talk to you about it after you got out?
Oh, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about anything. Oh, yeah, this happened to like the most traumatizing things of my life we've never talked about. No communication.
Yeah.
Silent, shut down.
I don't think your mom has the capacity for it.
Not, yeah, and it's like it's not that she doesn't love me. She just doesn't know how or
Oh,
what
she
to
wouldn't
say
even
or
know what to do with their hands.
yeah. Yeah, so no, we've never talked about it. But she hears things that people say, and she's like, "So and so said this about you and they were really like rude," and I just walked away. Like, my mom doesn't get involved. Like, she'll stick up for me if she has to. But she just doesn't say anything to anyone, not even me. So
Wait a minute. You were announced, and then you still were able to marry somebody in the congregation?
yeah, so that was when I was like, what, 15, 16, 16. I was announced. And then I like tried to just leave it. And then I met my ex-husband. He was like my boyfriend. And I went to a totally different side of town and a different like a different congregation. And they, it was like 6 months in between being announced and then meeting him and his family and I just saw so much love. So I thought, oh, it's just this side of town that sucks. These ones are better. And so I just, and his family is amazing. I still think like great things of them. So I just fell in love with them. And so I was like, well, I guess this is what I have to do. Like, this is the right thing to do. I had a little break, and then I met these different set of elders, and I was like, "Do you think I could become a publisher again?" And they were like, "Yeah." And it had only been like six, and I was just like, "Okay." And I was doing it because the family wanted me to, and they were encouraging me, and they were so nice to me. And I didn't have that at home. I didn't have a loving family. I didn't have people that were like communicative and actually said it like, they would kiss their son and say, "I love you," and hug him. And so I was just like, that's what I wanted. So I was like, oh, I'm going to do what I have to do. And so, yeah, then I became an unbaptized publisher again, like 6 to 8 months later. They just really, I don't know, to me kind of felt like they didn't really care. Like, they were just like, whatever. Yeah, sure.
From experience moving to other sides of town, it works great. Like you almost get a clean slate when you
Yeah.
go to a
Yeah,
new,
nobody knows you. You just smile and wave, and they're like giving you the benefit of the doubt most of the time.
especially if you're going into a reputable family, right?
Yeah, and it's like more numbers for them.
Yeah, no body count.
Always a body count. How many people did you talk to? How many magazines did you place? How
With
many?
numbers, numbers, numbers.
I always lied. always lying. 8 to 10 hours every month for me. Every month. Maybe 4 magazines and 1 call. It didn't happen. It never happened.
I love it so much. I love it. Oh my God.
So, I am mad at all of you because here's the thing. Apparently, I was the only one that was moving this religion forward because I'm the only one who was really doing the work. And I'm mad. I did not know that all y'all were faking. I was out here doing the Lord's work, sweating.
At a certain point, yeah, when I got older, when I was younger, I had to go. Like my mom was a pioneer. It was like all day in the heat in the summer. We're going. But I lived for the Starbucks breaks, you know?
I loved the yard sales. I got
The yard sales,
my
yes.
friend's mom, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, let's go in service." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm going with them." We just do yard sales, and at the very end, you're like, "And I have this. Bye." Like love.
Yeah, that's easy. That's doing it. You did the
Yep.
work.
Yes. And now we love to talk about how lazy they fucking are now with standing with their little magazine racks and they literally just talk to each other. They don't even look at you.
I am so okay, so I live in San Diego now and I'm so judgmental and I try not to be, but I run on the boardwalk and I see when they're like sitting or their outfit isn't put together and I'm like, it's not good enough. You're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. But I just keep running.
No, it is so true. Not good enough.
No, they're like talking or they're on their phones. That's a good one too. I'm like, do they know you're texting right now?
Texting on the Lord's time.
Yeah, you can't do that. But they don't have to count anymore. They don't gotta count.
Is that something new?
Yeah, I think I heard yeah, that they you just say that you went or not.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, no hour mark unless you're a pioneer.
Oh, you signed up for the numbers?
Yeah, unless you signed up for like the 50 or more or like whatever.
Uh, um,
So yeah, now you don't have to lie about it.
when
Everybody.
everybody, poor Katie. Um, did did you get baptized and why or why not?
I did so that I could date my boyfriend.
Like
They were
bottom
like
line.
telling him he's gonna get disfellowshipped if I am not baptized. He would get pulled in by this bully elder that was such a bully. Like he loved to be a bully. There's just some bully elders and there's the nice ones. Knowing that, and then I had just again the family in my ear, like this is what you need to do, and it felt like it's just what I had to do. Um, so yeah, convention, big, the 3 day. I was 18 and I felt proud that I made that decision when I was 18, but yeah, it is what it is.
For sure. And so then after that, you did you ever think about your life being different than that? Or like you were like, okay, dedicated, this is good forever.
Yeah, I was definitely in it. Like I wasn't talking to some of my friends that left. Me and you stopped talking for a while. You didn't come to my wedding. Like I wouldn't, well, I get the impression that like some of my friends thought that I was better than them, and maybe I did think that for a minute. Like there were people in my family that were disfellowshipped that I didn't talk to for over a decade, and these are like my cousin who's like my sister that I grew up with my whole life, and I really like had no problem just cutting them out of my life. And I saw how that like carried over into like I am a cutthroat person, I feel like now. Like if I can cut you out of my life and never talk to you again. And I think I learned that from the religion. Like, yeah, I thought this is it. I'm gonna get married and this is our life and it's gonna be good and healthy and we're gonna be doing the right thing. But
Yeah.
I never really enjoyed it. So I was gonna always break the rules as much as I could. Like I was still gonna go out and party and drink and like maybe, I don't know, I was gonna do anything that like pushed the boundary, but not all the way. I was still like a good Christian girl, didn't cheat, didn't steal, didn't, I don't know. I just, the only thing I lied about was my time. So there you go.
Oh, that's good. So holy.
Yeah.
How did your family do field service?
Mm, my mom was pretty hardcore. She's like knocking on doors, going up and down hills. We were in the foothills, so we were driving up these steep driveways, is what I remember. But early morning, we'd have to get up and do early morning, do bus stops, do everything. I mean, and I was in it till like since they had the carts, so you had to get like a special certification to do the cart work. It wasn't like it was like a training almost. Like you had to get like a I don't know, approved to do it. But yeah, everything, yard sales, I went with my aunt, letter writing, telephone. We did it all because my mom pioneered my entire life. So I
Those are the
yeah.
people, those are the only people she does talk to, the strangers.
Yeah.
Okay. Did
Yes.
you have your certification?
I got my card certification, whatever I needed to do. I can't remember if it's like watch a video or be in a training room. But yeah, I got something. I remember I couldn't go until they approved me. And so, yeah, I did. And I did it a couple of times. I think I did the gem show and the library. And you kind of just stand there and waste your time.
Does anybody come up to you like what's happening?
To argue, I think and I just back away. I'm not trying to have an argument with anyone or like, I'm not there to do that. I don't even know the answer. Like, why don't you guys do this? I don't know. Just stop asking. Like, just do it.
Yeah,
Just don't.
just don't. I love it. How was dating inside the cult different than outside?
Um, well, I guess I only have a couple experiences on the outside because it's not been too long and then so in the inside there's a lot of rules, but I was really young, so I probably shouldn't have even had a boyfriend then anyways. It's like 16, why was I got married like right when I was 20. So it was just, had to have a chaperone, had to do this. It's one way. And now I'm an adult. Like now I know who I am and now I'm meeting people. My ex-husband is a great person and there was no abuse. Yes, there were things that were wrong and we got divorced for a reason and we just weren't each other's people. We were really good at being roommates and partners. So I had this like almost like sheltered in a way. Like I never experienced anything bad. Like he was a great person. And then I came out and I started dating like the first guy to give me attention that was hot. And he was like this abusive, narcissistic, like brought out the worst in me. And I didn't even know that was possible. So it was like my eyes were never opened. I finally then I was like, people are really like this. Like I didn't even know when people would talk about the word narcissist, I didn't know what that meant until I lived it. So it was like that. I felt like I was kind of protected in a way. Like I always say that, like my ex-husband kept me safe for a really long time. Like whatever happened was supposed to happen the way it did. I just knew I had like a greater purpose. And I was always pushing it on him that he needed to find himself and like, but now I know it was just all me. It's a projection, right, Olivia?
Oh
Um,
yes.
and so then that was my first experience realizing like people suck and you cannot trust them. And then I got pregnant and I've been trying to date. And so I I dated another person and I feel like it was really healthy and it he like opened my eyes to the world. And even just other people in general, maybe if we're not talking about dating, just
Yeah.
there's another side to being spiritual and I'm learning that and there's just so many things about the universe that we don't know. I was taught to not even believe in aliens. Like aliens are demons, demonic. Like so when people are like, "Well, do you believe in aliens?" I'm like, "No." And then they're like and then they all do and I'm like that's like a thing that comes up in dating. Like guys like to talk about that. And
They
I'm
do.
and I'm just like, "What?" And they're like, "Well, have you heard of the Anunnaki?" And I'm like, "What?" Like not saying that I believe in any of that, but it's just a whole other world of like I'm very I stay in possibility. Like because that's where the miracles happen. And if you say you have the answers to everything, I do not trust you. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't work. That does not work. So, yeah, I guess I'm just like really open and the guys I have been talking to have like kind of opened my eyes into a whole other universe literally and like sending me stuff and like the like how are the pyramids made? Like that
Yeah.
just does not make sense. What? But we I was like, no, that was in the Bible and then like you look at science and facts and like math and I'm like, yeah, I guess you're kind of right. Or like, how did this get here? Or I don't know, there's a lot of questions. The fucking dinosaurs, no one can
literally,
answer. Like
literally the fucking dinosaurs.
I don't know, I'm going off on a tangent. That's just about dating, but that's kind of what dating outside has brought these like conversations up. So there's like there's good, there's openness, there's possibilities, and then there's been like what does not work, the bad, the sheltered, the what I had to learn coming out of it and protecting myself and keeping my guard up. And so yeah,
I
that's
love it. It's literally like what I've been saying now this last year being single and dating is like these are experiments now. I'm just literally conducting experiments with different men and whether it's a date or an experience or physical, like it's literally like you we didn't get to explore the world
yeah.
as learning, growing children and teenagers and young adults. So it's like, well, let me just try it. Let me just like interact with this person and learn about what they know and like take it with a grain of salt and like I just get
Yeah, just
some.
get a little bit of everything and
Mhm.
then you kind of just turn it into whatever works for you and you believe and
Love.
that is how it feels.
Totally. So did you have somebody who was always telling on you? A snitchy bitch.
My cousin. But you know, I can't even blame her. We're only like a year and a half apart. Her dad was an elder for a bit. I think he got removed at some point, and they were always pretending to be the perfect family. Like always needed to be with the CO at lunch in a picture frame. Like everyone needs to know. And for some reason, they would do this thing to my cousin where they sit her down and be like, tell me everything Nicole tells you. And they would like make her tell on me. And she would be crying and be like, I'm so sorry, Nicole. They made me tell. And because we would just be, you know, at sleepovers and I would just like tell her, like, oh, this is what I'm doing at school. There's this boy. Or sometimes I would like eat birthday cake or something stupid. And like she would tell her parents, and then her parents would tell my parents. My parents didn't do anything about it. They never disciplined me. Um, but still they would always be telling or like I think my her brother saw these pictures when we were playing Guitar Hero at your house in Vale, and that was the thing to be on Guitar Hero all day, and there's a picture of us like flipping off the camera, and I had given my cousin my iPod with pictures on it because he didn't have one and I didn't delete it, and so I had explicit lyrics and bad pictures and I got told on. So, yeah, it was always like my cousins who are like my siblings, but I don't blame them. Their parents like love to try to get me in trouble for some reason. So,
Did they ever tell anybody in the church or it was just telling your mom?
I think they would go to my elders too, but I never heard about it because it wasn't like, what are they going to do about me flipping off the camera? They probably told my mom. I was only like 13, so I never got like a back room thing. It wasn't severe enough until I was sexually active, then they had to ask.
Um, where is this cousin now? She's still in?
The oh no, she got disfellowshipped and she's never coming back.
Oh, mhm. See?
Yeah, she we
Mm-hmm.
have a relationship now and we
Oh,
are close again and I started talking to her when I came out and I just felt like why did I ever stop talking to you? Like the way people just like shun somebody and she's not a bad person. Like I think she got disfellowshipped because she had sex, but like so does everyone else.
Didn't we
Like,
all?
yeah, I'm just like, that's, it's not like a, I don't know, like the way people treat you would think that you murdered somebody. You would think that you tried to hurt their kids. Like, I don't know, that would make a reason for me not to talk to you ever again and pretend you don't exist when I see you in the same room.
Right. Are you religious now?
Religious, no. Spiritual, yes, but religious, no. I don't think I'll ever be a part of a religion ever again. Never say never, but like no.
But organized religion is just not it.
No.
Nah.
And Katie has
But
tried.
I've tried a lot. But now that you've had your baby, like, can you ever imagine cutting him off?
No. No, that's where I'm just like, how do people do this? Like the only thing I want to do is nurture and support. And I don't get it. I
Literally,
just don't get
what's the
it.
point? Like,
Yeah.
why did you have these kids and then you're just like, on your last straw, never gonna talk to you again really soon? What?
It's
Oh,
just probably easier. It's easier when
mm.
for them to not address or be a part of their kids' lives. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of
It's a lot
responsibility.
under the rug. It's really a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't want to sweep that up and talk about it and be open and yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to have an
Oh,
unpopular opinion though. It is much easier with kids to just be honest and talk about it, like really and truly, then it's much more stress to try to hide everything and not talk about it. And it does make it easier when you're just like, hey, you know what? I was a big dick today. you know, I'll do better tomorrow.
But
yeah.
you're taking responsibility. Like there's a lot of moms and people out there that can't do that. They can't.
Generations.
Yeah. I agree. Like it's gonna feel better for me to talk to my kid about everything, but the yeah, generational over whoever came before us, it's like they can't take responsibility. What is that?
And for them to be the change and the different, that's the scary part for everybody. And that's the whole fucking point, is like everyone's so afraid because we've based our lives on fear to
Hmm.
keep you in line. So like you're gonna talk about something when you're not even allowed to ask too many questions in the religion. Do you know, like, then
Yeah, you can't.
why open this can of worms in our family?
Hmm.
Where does it end? It's just, I mean, regular non-religious people also have a really hard time, communicating. And oh, what if I tell him and then what happens? And it's like, it's your husband, you sleep in the same bed, you want to live like this forever? Are you okay? So it's like extra, I feel like, for the religion, but
Yeah.
of
Well,
course
it's
it's
like,
easier. And this is wonderful that we have all these moms who are like, it's easier just to fucking say it.
well, yeah, that's what I'm like. I get what Katie's saying because it's like when people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat like shit and I'm not gonna work out," and but it's actually easier and better for you to work out and eat and not eat like shit because your life is actually gonna be easier. It's like that. Like nobody wants to do the hard thing, but it is easier actually. Like you're not killing yourself inside, keeping it in. Whereas like, yeah, so I get it.
Yeah, totally. What was something that you thought was normal growing up and then you found out wasn't?
That's a good question. My parents just like never getting along but staying together, like hating each other. Like they should have been divorced a long time ago before they got separated. I just thought this is what you do. You stick, like they all just stick with it. Um, and I just saw my mom like kill herself, like basically in this relationship she wasn't happy with because the religion said she had to stay, but she didn't have to. Like I don't understand. Like my dad cheated on her all the time. Like she didn't have to stay. It was like try for your kid, try for this, and she just kept trying and it was like I think that's why I saw the opportunity and I jumped with divorce because I was just like I can't end up like my mom. Um, but growing up, yeah, I guess I thought that was normal. Just in general, like not celebrating holidays felt really normal, right? Like you don't, and now that I'm out of it, birthdays, holidays, everyone in their traditions. Like I was just so cut off from that side of things. Or playing sports. Like we weren't really allowed to play sports. So I thought maybe it was just normal for me, but it didn't seem, I knew that like everyone else did it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think those things growing up.
Mm-hmm. Did you notice how unfair it was for women in the church?
I guess I was kind of like, I never noticed when you put it that way. Like I never thought about it that way. But I do feel like I would have kicked ass at doing the sound booth and doing the mics. So, but also like when I was young, I liked to like get on stage and like be cute. Like at 7, I started giving talks, right? And I loved it and I would get like interviewed and I thought it was fun. But then I got older and I dreaded it. So like I did not mind that the men had to do it all. Like if I had to give a 30-minute talk every on a Sunday, mm-mm. Have all that responsibility. But I mean, maybe I guess if somebody wants it, they can have it. I was happy to not be doing everything and just be on the sidelines. That's just how I was personally. But I guess at a certain age, I was like, that would be fun doing the mics, doing this. But I never noticed it that way because you're just conditioned. Just the guys do it, just the boys do it.
I never thought of that, but I feel like I would have loved to do the mic so much more because you didn't have to pay attention. You didn't have to
You got
like
to
do
do
any. I'd be like,
something. What
oh,
else?
I'm so fucking helpful. Look at how helpful.
Yeah, you don't have to actually answer.
No, you don't have to
They do,
underline
but
anything.
I always wanted to do the little counter. That was what I always wanted to do. I felt like
Uh,
I could do that because when I was in, you had your individual mailbox back there, and you ordered how many magazines you wanted, and then when it came in, you had to put how many magazines in each person's box. It's like a little tiny post office. I always wanted to do that, but it seems to me that you never equated that with why your mom didn't leave, because of course they were telling your mom to work it out because she was a woman, even though your dad was acting foolish. But that never occurred to you.
no, because I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on with my mom until they separated and broke up. Then I was like, what? Like the drama that was ensuing, like I don't know. I know this is going to be on the internet, but like my mom was pregnant with me and like he was picking up a prostitute that was actually a cop. Like he's had a addiction my entire life. Like she was always finding him strip club, like our money was just being wasted, our cars were being like it was chaos, but I didn't know what he was doing. Now I'm like, and I hear stories and it's just like, well, this elder told me that I could leave. This is the story, okay, guys? This elder told me that it was okay. And we were going to have another meeting and he went on a fishing trip and he died. And she's like, and I just didn't leave your dad. Like I just ended up staying because I felt like I had no support and everyone was going to judge me because nobody else would listen to me except him. And it was really sad. And so my dad would go to jail to like every weekend to finish his time for it was just all of that. And I didn't know. And I just feel like a lot of women get stuck in these situations. I
Was
know
your
the
mom
say
all by herself, or did his family know and they were helping cover it up?
nobody ever knew. She didn't tell anyone. So everyone thought my dad was this like great guy because he was smiley, he's funny, he's personable. Yeah, I know other people that have stayed because the elders said to, and they didn't feel like they would have support. It was just what they did. And yeah.
yeah. No, it's so, so sad. And I remember the one thing you said when we were like talking about your divorce, and you were like, I didn't know I had a choice. And it was the most heartbreaking thing an adult woman could say in 2020, whatever it was, right? Like to say you don't have a choice. I'm like, but it's the religion. Like they keep you down, they don't support you, they make sure you are afraid and alone. So
Yeah. And I know they were like, we would support you. Just come. It was just like, I don't want to do.
conditional
Yeah.
shit.
It's just like, nah, nah.
And that's the biggest problem for me is them preaching about unconditional love. And I'm like, which part? The condition one, two, or three? Like you
Yeah. I just couldn't ever get behind you have to care about what other people think of you, or else and what you do will stumble another person. that is actually what brought me to my lowest point of like feeling depressed. I've never felt suicidal to the point where like I'm going to kill myself, but I didn't realize how depressed I was within, I thought it might be my marriage, but now I know that I was like suppressing who I was to my core to try to make other people happy. And that is what now I know like I need to like follow my instincts, my gut, and I really need to like align with myself. And when I do that, I'm right, happiness is a choice, but I'm much happier that way than being worried about what everyone thinks of me. I can't stand that. Like I remember it's like a Watchtower article, like you need to care. These people's lives depend on. That's a lot of pressure to take on. Like I can't do that every
Totally.
day. So I just remember feeling like if there was a button I could press, I would say this all the time to Brandon. Like I would push and I could go to sleep forever. I would push it. Like if it could be that easy. And I didn't know that was depression until I got out of it. And I'm like, I don't feel like that anymore at all. Like, and I'm not even like, what am I doing? I'm just a girl with a baby at this point. Like what was I suppressing? It was just I don't want to live by those standards and rules 24/7. It just didn't
Yeah, inside
align.
this tiny box that some guy made up and changes the rules all the time.
I know, we can't do that. I get to change my rules. I get to be.
I literally had to go on a retreat for $2,400 to learn what my conscience sounded like. Okay.
Yeah, because you
So
got to be worried about
I,
what everyone else thinks.
oh my God. And I thought the anxiety feeling was my conscience. I thought those were the same thing. And then when I went to that retreat and learned about my conscience and how to like get quiet into like a meditative state, I'm like, oh my God, that is actually the voice you don't listen to. I'm letting her run the whole show of like all the choices I make because it was how other people are going to see me, how I should be acting, how other people have told me to act. Like, and it was going against myself and it was making the anxiety worse. But I was like, that's just my conscience yelling at me. I have to listen.
Which is why we're not allowed to meditate. Do you
Oh my,
remember that?
no.
You can only
Yeah.
meditate on the readings, but you're not allowed to meditate like, like Buddha. I think my mom made everything more dramatic. Like she told me if I would smoke weed, demons would possess my brain, so I never did any drugs. But she also said like that just allows room for the demons to come in and like, is that what you heard? Like with meditation and stuff?
If you empty your mind, then something is going to fill it, and it's probably going to be demons. They're
Isn't
just
that
waiting. They're like,
crazy?
wait.
Like just so everyone knows, when you meditate, like if anything's going to come into your mind, it's the 12 million things you have to do that day. Like it's either going to be complete peace and serenity or it's just going to be you're going to be fighting yourself. Like just so you know, you do not get possessed by
No,
a demon.
no
You do
one
not
is
need an
possessing.
exorcism when you get done. It's actually the opposite, and maybe that's why they don't want you to do it, because you start aligning with yourself, you start becoming yourself, finding your purpose, who you all the things.
I always thought if I went into another church of a different religion, I get struck by lightning. And so
Like
when
legit.
no, legit. So the one when I was with my boyfriend illegally, I would say, out of the religion, there was a Catholic wedding and I went with him. And I can't tell you how paralyzed I was sitting in that church. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm sitting here. I'm gonna get like it's gonna happen before I leave. Like I am hurting. I'm so terrified. I'm gonna get struck by lightning. Like it's happening. But I didn't leave
That is
because I
so
have FOMO.
funny. I didn't know. I mean, my mom always says that to me, like, oh, Nicole, you're doing that. You're gonna get struck by lightning. But I never took it literally. That's funny.
But fear
That
fear ran me.
that
Oh
is
yeah,
funny.
fear.
I was afraid I was going to get struck by lightning a lot more than it.
Okay, so if one of us gets struck by lightning randomly today, we
Oh my
know.
God. Somebody's
It's the
real.
podcast.
Aliens are real.
It's the podcast, guys. I know whoever's gonna see this, it's gonna
It's
be
the
like,
podcast. We're okay. Yeah, no.
I mean, even this is apostate material you
Oh,
guys are producing.
literally, I was like, we really didn't take our name very seriously because we could have been like the apostate cousins or like, you know what I mean? Like we could have really played on the apostate because
And it
that's
is
one thing I was
serious.
terrified of looking that up because they make you terrified of it. And so when I was finally like brushed everything off out, I'm like, oh yeah, let me look it up really quick. YouTubed it. Why is this his experience of how terrible it was? That's it. I was so disappointed. I'm like, I needed like demons and lightning in the video. What was that? That's like your bad. My life is way worse than your apostate video. You know, like
Yeah, the name that name is just really intense.
it
Like,
is.
and I think even now it's like hard for me to even the word apostate, the word cult. Like there's some
Mm.
people that still talk to me that are in and I have this like, oh, should I do this? Should I talk about it? Should I, and it's like not a lot still talk to me, some do. And I'm just like, I don't need to be living my life for anybody else, or if anyone has an expectation of me, then they get to fall off. Like
And that's
that just
their
I can't
expectation
hold
of
on to
you.
it, but like it's a feeling. Just doing this podcast still fucks with my head. Like somebody's gonna see this, like are they not gonna be able to, okay, well then that's what, or are they gonna talk about me? Or they people still look at my freaking Instagram. I mean, the elders try to act like they don't like my photos or whatever, my bikini pics, or like heart eyes them.
Oh,
But it happens. It
not the heart
happens.
eyes,
Not the heart, not the fire emoji.
not
So
the
it's just
fire
like
emoji from the elders.
not them. But yeah, it's just
They meant you're going to hell. That was not
yeah,
them.
that's what, yep, definitely.
I just want to bring up the that we also didn't look up the definition of the word apostate either, because if you just do a quick search, it's a person who renounces a religious or political belief or principle. The end. Sad, disappointing, needed some lightning.
But yeah, they make the words intense, right? Like a what is another one? Like, I mean, Armageddon just
I,
sounds real scary.
yeah.
Yeah, but there's been times, and I have a friend that we were somewhere together, and somebody said something, and I can't remember what it was. It was like Kingdom of God or something. And like, we were both like, and like, it makes my armpit sweat sometimes. It'll be like little phrases, and you're like, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Triggered.
and you couldn't feel more separate from a number 144,000, or you'll randomly see 1914 somewhere, just a random series of numbers or year, like,
And
something was
John
published.
3:16. Why is it so popular? Stop.
It's everywhere. It's just it's part of us now. It just kind of lingers, but
How do you feel about people who are still in it and about the new changes?
the people that are still in, I mean, there's some people that are still in that I love, and that is going to be my ex's family. And they've always been kind to me and always shown me love. And I can't contribute that to the religion. I think it's just who they are as people. And I respect that they have made a choice for themselves. Like I think everyone gets that right. There are some people that are nasty people, and they're judgmental, and I feel that, and I feel no love, and I feel all these things, and I can see they're still not happy and still not making choices, and it's just like, okay, you get to do that. Like I don't put a lot of energy on it because
Yeah.
why? Like if you want to unfollow or not talk. So if they're in it, great, but I know you're not fucking happy. So have fun doing that and living a miserable life. Because it's not going to be mine. And I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
judge you for it. I'm just gonna stay over here because refuse to like be a part of my life. And what was the second part of that? People
How
that
do
are
you
in
feel
it.
about the new changes?
Oh, the new changes. I just think it's silly. Like, honestly, I just kind of laugh. Like, some people get mad, like, why couldn't have they done that? The pants thing are ugly. Like, I've only seen two people do it right. Like, two. I've only seen two photos, and I'm like, that's cute, girl. You go. Um, I don't care. I just don't. I just like, okay, count your time or not. I lied either way. Like, um, what's another one? I don't know. Like,
Oh, the
there,
beard and
oh, the beard. The
Men don't.
beard, yeah, the beard is silly to me. Like to see all the men, like, I don't know. It's funny. Like some of them look hotter, great, but that's about it. Like, I don't know. I just to me it's just silly. The changes, the rules, the invisible wall we created around our lives and one person says it and then it's a change and I'm like, "Okay, good for you. Have something to be excited for. We all got to live for something." And if it's a beard or wearing pants, then you go, girl.
go Glen Coco.
You go, Glen Coco.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's funny. Okay, well, those are all my questions.
Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect.
Thanks for being on today.
No
Thank you.
problem. Guess what I'm doing today? Gonna go to my son's second birthday party. Why? Because mom's
Woo!
a birthday fiend. She never celebrated birthdays, so Wax gets two.
Yay! I love
He gets
that
a
for you.
San Diego and a Tucson birthday. And that's that. And I get to post about it and feel a little bit guilty after. No big deal. We're still working through it.
Absolutely. And I can't wait until he can tell you, Mom, that's okay. I still love you. You don't have to feel bad. And it's
Yeah,
going to
it's
melt your
okay.
heart.
Yeah, it's okay. And yeah, I got to figure out too, like what I'm gonna like. Katie, do you were you in with your kids and like they went ever to the meetings or?
No, I tried when my first was, well, when they were very little and everybody was like, oh, single mom with all these kids? No, thank you. And they were just like, not here. And so we just never did. So I always celebrate with my husband's family. They've
Okay.
always,
Yeah, I didn't know if like they've ever known it in like the Bible or like what approach you've taken with your kids at all if you've
I have always allowed them to go to, like, if their friends are going to a church or take part in anything at school. But to me, they've all had their positions on religion since they were very, very little. My oldest one, he's very respectful of it, but he's not really going to take part in it. My middle child is just like, what? We're believing in what? I've never seen him. It's like, no.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Even when he was he's just like, okay. And then my youngest is an avid Christian. He's in the
Oh
future
wow. What a
uh,
curveball.
Christians of America athletes or whatever. He does it all.
Oh.
Very
Yeah, I
into it.
think that's great. I mean, because that sounds like you've let them choose. So that's kind of the idea for Jax is like being just really open with him and like, this is the Bible. It is a book, that people believe in, but there's also all of these other things and just nurturing whatever, I don't know, he finds interesting. So yeah, that's all I was wondering about. But
Yeah. But they also know my parents who are still in, so they've seen that. And when, like, for us, I feel like it was harder because we only really saw one side of it. But for them who clearly see both sides of it, they're just
hmm
like, when they're about 5 or 6, like, they're just like, nah, nah.
hmm
So it wasn't ever really an issue with that. And really the only reason I wanted them to be a part of it because I knew they would teach them to read fast, because you constantly have to read. That's why I wanted to sign them up.
Yeah, there you go. They you become a really good reader. You start doing that Bible reading at 6 years old.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I got. Some good reading tips.
yeah.
Public
Yes.
speaking,
Yeah.
all of it. But yeah,
I can make an outline like nobody's business.
you can write a talk in 5 minutes, I bet. You were doing the work. She did the work.
She did
Can you
all the work.
imagine ChatGPT now? So easy. Write a talk. Done. Done. Write me this talk with this outline. So easy.
I just can't believe everybody on their phones, like reading the Bible on their phone. I'm like, yeah,
Phone.
exactly. I'm like looking around, like, oh, we just have all of our phones out, and you just trust everyone's reading the Bible. Oh, wow! With my pants on, it was It was
Some
very
people are professional multitaskers. They can like be and like, answering, but also be like doing all the drugs and sleeping with this person and on their phone, making sure they text him back, but raising their hand and
Oh,
they're
answering
good.
everything.
They are good.
They're good.
I think if lightning struck every time there was porn on at the hall, it would be on fire every
Oh,
night.
fire.
I
Fire.
was like, does that happen? I never knew about that.
Oh my God.
I'm sure
Who
it does.
knows? Okay. Love you so
Love
much.
you. Thanks for having me.
I
I
hope
will
you have a
talk.
great second birthday.
Thank
Yes.
you. I'll snap you later. And
Okay.
Katie, it was nice meeting you. Thanks for having me. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
I want to talk about something I've learned lately,
Okay, let's
and
hear.
it is the female condom. Okay. I don't think this is very popular, but there was a time where I needed to look into it, my options. I needed some
I had
options.
no idea this was even a thing.
Yeah. So,
Where do you buy this?
no,
Do you have
literally. And so I started looking because I think it was like dental dam, didn't know what that was. So then I like went down this rabbit hole. Mm-mm. The female condom, if you think of a a net that you fish little fish out of the fish tank, and it's got
no?
the rim on it, like a hard rim.
It's not a sperm net.
Yeah, no, literally a sperm net. So it's got the harder outside, and I don't know how hard it is. It's more sturdy. And then it is a large plastic bag, probably latex free for your women parts. And you are supposed to shove it. It's loose also. It doesn't need to fit anything. So you have to shove it into your vagina and then keep the sturdy part on the outside of your vagina so it covers everything.
Oh,
So that there's like
the cervix. Oh,
mm-mm. So it's like bag inside, opening, covered, no skin needs to be touched. Yeah. Does it? I don't even think it comes with an applicator. So my question is, are we putting this in before I get to your house? Or are you going to do it together? Or are you just going to like, hold on, wait 1 second? Does it squish when you walk? Swish, swish, swish.
now it's a plastic bag. So when you're coming
Needless to say, I have not tried one. But I just need everyone to be educated about it.
to get on the ball for the sake of. Okay, that's great. Thank you for this update. It's probably very needed.
Yeah, somebody's gonna be blown away.
Yeah. Okay. For my mommy minute, we were on the way to school with my son, and we were listening to the radio, and the lady was like, if you close your eyes and don't think about like your aches and pains or whatever, just think about like in your mind, how old do you think of yourself? And I'm probably in my 30s when I think about it. I don't know. And then I asked him, and he said, he's 14, and he said, probably 30 with kids drinking beer.
He's 14.
Probably 30 drinking beer with some kids. No wonder you're not getting good grades in middle school. You need a beer.
You need a beer. Oh, that's telling.
I'm just holding him back.
He really is just holding him back. We call it an old soul.
And here's the other thing that I'd like to tell you. And I should have told Nicole this. So in the way my house is, I have windows, porch, windows. And in front of these windows is my bedroom. And so I planted big plants that grow up tall over the windows. So someone doesn't try to come in and steal me out the window. So I've got these plants, and I've had them for 15 years, and as the years have gone by, they don't go all the way up to my porch anymore. Now they only cover one window. Would you like to take a guess why? Because my children pee out the front door. And as they've gotten older, their pee goes farther and it's killed the plants all the way to the end of the window.
She's upset.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I'm like, how does it get smaller over time? That's not how it works.
pee farther.
And you already know it's a damn competition.
Well, yeah. And they walk past the bathroom to get to the front door to be outside. I don't know.
Oh, that's so funny. I don't know what's wrong with these people.
My question for you. Does anybody sleep with a top sheet anymore? Do you sleep with a top sheet?
Now, I've heard this actually, I've talked about it with some guys, and they don't do top sheet. They like everyone is against it, all of them. And I'm like, what do you mean? Of course, because here's the thing. Sometimes, even in the middle of the night, day to day, different, I'm too hot for two, but I'm too cold for one. And so it's like an air conditioning. I'm hot. I take the first layer off. I just have the sheet. Then when I cool back down, I put it back on top. Great. What about you?
I was a staunch flat sheet and comforter person. Why would you ever try to touch a comforter naked? Are they even supposed to be touched?
Right. You don't really wash them a lot.
Now, Brandon cannot sleep with a top sheet. I've tried for 19 years. He gets so wrapped up in it that it is turned into a whole queen size sheet is like this big by the morning. And sometimes he'll get wrapped in it and you'll like have to wake up and get him out of it. It's just not worth it. So I just touched the nasty comforter. And for a long time, I felt like it was kind of like walking in a gym shower with no shoes on.
Yeah. Thank you. I don't know what people are doing.
But he will sleep on a bed with no sheets at all. That's a red flag.
That's a red flag. He can't be trusted.
But yeah, I heard it's the newest thing. Ask some of my friends, they're free balling it too.
I can't. I would never. There's just no way.
But that is something that you need to put at the top of your dating list because that is going to be one of the hardest things to find.
You're right. Oh no, I didn't think about that.
That's a every night thing. Yeah.
Oh no, and this is why I need to advocate for separate bedrooms.
It's really the way to go. Everyone wants to make fun of all the old TV shows. No,
they know. I know, because before, wasn't it even like same bedroom, two twin beds?
Yes, you could not show on TV people sleeping in the same bed together.
Perfect.
So they would be in the same room but twin beds, but still.
No, different rooms, bigger beds. Thank you. Love
to. All right. Are we good for today?
Yeah, from the south to the city.
Don't be shitty.